Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a very, very interesting show in store for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, we got a pretty interesting story for you guys here today. As you guys know, it had been finalized from various sources like Front Office Sports and other places that the NBA had finally concluded on his new TV deal with his partners for the new media rights deals that they have. And they found a way to 3x their revenue from their previous TV deal, which was worth about $25 billion. Now they've been able to bump that number up to, $76 billion. At first I thought it was going to be around $75 billion, but they've been able to bump it up to $76 billion. And the people that are paying for those media rights are companies like Disney, ESPN, NBC, and Amazon, right? They were the ones coming in there, bringing in a significant amount of money. And in the midst of them doing that, they were essentially able to outbid TNT, right? And what that meant was that with TNT not being able to match their offer, because I think the company that doubled it, I think it was Amazon, they were basically pushed out of the corner, right? And various people reacted to it. And one of the people that reacted to it that was absolutely unhappy with the way things were going at the time was Charles Barkley. And Charles Barkley actually went off on the executives at TNT. So for those of you who don't remember what Charles Barkley had to say about, what TNT was letting happen, we're gonna play some of his comments for you now. I'm gonna come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Charles Barkley here.
Morale sucks, plain and simple. I just feel so bad for the people I work with, Dan. These people have families, and I just really feel bad for them right now. These people I work with, they screwed this thing up clearly, and we don't have zero idea what's going to happen. I don't feel good, I'm not going to lie, especially when they came out yesterday and said we bought college football. I was like, well, damn, they could have used that money to buy the NBA.
Yeah, it says TNT Sports added college football playoff games in a 5-year deal, their licensing deal with ESPN. Maybe that's why they're buying this, because they don't, the money they were going to use on the NBA, they got to do something with.
Yeah, that's the first thing came to my mind. We've never had college football, never been involved with college football. And I'm like, wait a minute, shouldn't we be spending every dime we got to keep the NBA? So morale sucks, to be honest with you, Dan.
I was wondering about this. I don't know if you guys have talked about this, but you and Shaq and Kenny and Ernie, how about just form a production company and continue to do the Inside the NBA, hire the personnel, keep the personnel there, continue to do it in Atlanta, and then you're able to sell that to NBC or Amazon and say, here, you already got the best studio show ready to go, keep everybody in place, but you guys own your own production company.
Well, I've talked to the guys about everybody signing with my production company, because I have my own production company, and I would love to do that if we lose it. But I have definitely actually somebody suggested that to me, to be honest with you, on the internet. So why don't Charles Barkley sign these 4 guys total, his production company, and sell it? I'm like, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
But like I say, we're just sitting back waiting on these people to figure out what they're going to do. My 2 favorite wines are Inglenook and Opus. And these clowns I work for, they've turned us into Ripple and Boonesfarm and Thunderbird. Like, we got the best studio show. And it's so funny, we just won the best studio show, but these fools turned us from Inglenook and Opus into damn Boonesfarm and Ripple. It's crazy.
You're actually angry.
I am. Dan, it's so interesting. I've been spending a lot of time with the crew lately. They've been with these guys who I spent time with they bring their newborns in, they bring their kids in, they'd come in like when they were in high school, and now they're graduating for college. I mean, that's how long, Ernie's been there 32 years, Kenny's been there 27, I've been there 24, but think about that. Some of these people I work with, they brought their newborns in to say hello to us, They brought them in high school when they graduated, and now they've already graduated from college. So yeah, I'm angry at people who they're like, they're part of my family, to be honest with you. So, and I feel bad for those guys.
Yeah, but how did you guys screw it up? How did TNT mess this up?
Well, I think the first thing is, they came out and said we didn't need the NBA. So I think that probably pissed Adam off. I don't know that, but I'm saying because when we merged, that's the first thing our boss said, we don't need the NBA. Well, he don't need it, but the rest of the people, me, Kenny, Shaq, and Ernie, and the people who work there, we need it. So it just sucks right now. And the thing that's interesting, me, Kenny, Ernie talk about it, and Shaq all the time. Like, people walk up to me, I'm not even joking, 20 times a day. I'm like, dude, thank you for the kind words, but I have zero idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like, you can't go anywhere. And then what's really frustrating, we all are getting sent like 5-7 articles a day about we've already lost it, or we on life support. TNT's trying a fourth quarter comeback. And I don't know, Bill Simmons, who I'm a big Bill Simmons fan, they're sending us articles like they've already lost it. It's over with. I was listening to Mad Dog Russo the other day. He's like, oh, the deal's over with. It's already going to NBC. So I don't know what to believe. So it sucks for the people, for all of us.
So you heard what he had to say. So then something interesting happened this morning. I was going to the internet and I came across an article from fadeawayworld.net that really startled me because it had the following headline. It said TNT has until Monday to match NBC's $2.2 billion or Amazon's $1.8 billion in new media rights deal. And I was like, whoa, this is some pretty significant news given the fact that we thought it was a done deal with TNT. So we want to get into this article right now and read some of what it has to say for you guys. So let's get into what this article had to say. Then continues on. It says, the NBA is in the final stretch of finalizing their new media rights deal, which will start in the 2025-2026 and last for 11 years with partners Disney, NBC Universal, and Amazon. TNT lost out to the media rights, but can match either the $2.2 billion with NBC or the $1.8 billion streaming-only deal with Amazon. The league has sent official terms of its proposed new media rights contract to Warner Brothers Discovery, starting a 5-day period where the media company can choose to match a package of broadcasting rights. A TNT spokesperson confirmed the receipt of the document and acknowledged the company is currently reviewing the terms. Warner Brothers Discovery received the contract framework on Wednesday night. According to people familiar with the matter, who asked not to be named because the details are private. It is unclear if the NBA has the right to decline a match offer from TNT, with additional complications arising from the first streaming-only deal with Amazon. TNT could match the Amazon deal to keep the NBA on their programming, but will be restricted to making it available on streaming only. This is interesting. Possibly bringing the NBA to their Max streaming service. Max and Amazon are direct competitors in the streaming space, which would make this challenging. Even if TNT matches the dollar value of the deal, the NBA could argue it's not only truly a match offer because Amazon Prime boosts nearly double the subscribers of Max. And then it has one or two other things. The NBA has reportedly been prepping their lawyers for TNT to possibly complicate the situation by trying to block the new media rights deal. So everyone should keep a close eye on how this situation develops until Monday. So you heard what the article said there. Let me just read one last part here. It says TNT could lose $600 million if the NBA media rights go elsewhere. There's a legitimate financial incentive for Warner Brothers and TNT to keep the NBA in their broadcast portfolio, given the popularity of the league and its ability to further license their rights to smaller stakeholders. Research media and entertainment analyst Peter commented on the same, noting how nothing can replace the ad revenue that TNT gets from the NBA. Interesting. If Turner doesn't license the NBA, their costs will fall immediately, but soon after that, the revenue that they get from the cable satellite distributors will fall. And the ad revenue they got from putting the NBA on air will not nearly be replaced by the ad revenue that they got for whatever they put in the NBA's place. He estimates that TNT would lose $600 million in profit annually if the NBA goes elsewhere. Then continues on. The question for the financial forecast after all that is said and done is what fell more, the cost or the revenue? And our estimates is that there's about $600 million of profit nearly. That's going away because the revenue will fall more than the cost. Wow. Man, oh man, oh man. This is insane. Man, there's a lot of money in TV. Goodness Lord. 600 million per annum? So 600 million per annum, and if they're paying what? Let's say they offer 1.8 billion, 1.8 billion, that's 3 years. So after 3 years, man, they can start turning a profit if the deal is for 10 years. 610 years, that's what? 6 billion? Yeah, 600 million a year times 10 is 6 billion. $6.6 billion. And you pay what? 1.8 to make 6.6? Who wouldn't take that deal? Like, who wouldn't? I don't know, but these boys are dealing in some serious money, man. Serious. Now I understand why these guys make so much damn money on TV. Well, based on some of the things that I read in the past, depending on the show, depending on the audience segment, TV can be quite lucrative in terms of how much these networks charge these advertising companies, right? Give you guys an example. On YouTube, for example, you pay per 1,000 impression, whereas on television, depending on the show, you pay for one. So every one eyeball, for example, can be $1. I've read this before on Nielsen's when I was reading about ratings and all of that. So it could be $1. So if you have let's say 500,000 viewers watching your show, you're paying $500,000 for that day, I think. So it's a totally different framework than, for instance, YouTube and other places where they pay per 1,000 viewers versus for one viewer. If they paid what they paid on TV for YouTube, bro, I would have camels and freaking I don't even know, man. Them people from the Avatar movies swimming in the bag and all kind of crazy. Man, it would be insane. So anyway, I digress off at that point. The question is the following. I have two questions. Number one, do you think TNT will match this offer, Warner Brothers Discovery? That's number one. Number two, do you think they should? Right? This is a pertinent question. And I'm very curious to hear what the audience has to say about this, especially based on the financial incentives that were laid out and entailed in this article. I'm very interested to hear what you guys think. To me, given the fact that we only have, 3 days? Yeah, for Friday, Saturday, Sunday to basically come up with that amount of money. I don't know how much money Warner has in their pockets. I don't know if they're going to take a loan out on that, what the interest would be and all of that. Who knows? But they definitely have an opportunity to continue to play in this situation here. But really, what stands out to me is how much money these networks are going to be making, even more than the NBA. Because if they signed a $75 billion deal, and and Warner Brothers is doing what? Basically, they did 10 years is $600 million. That's their revenue. No, that's their profits. Excuse me. That's not their. The article said it said profits. It didn't say revenue. Let me get this straight. It didn't say revenue. It said, and our estimates is that there's about $600 million of profit yearly. That means that if you multiply that with all of the different companies that are paying for it, you have TNT, or in this case, you have Amazon, ESPN, and NBC. Oh my goodness! You multiply that. These companies are making a lot of money. These are my thoughts. Anyway, I just digress. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments. We catch you on the next show. Peace.